In this question, we are asked to find the substances formed at the anode and the cathode. So remember, we got two things we're looking for. This is during electrolysis, so we know it's going to be with oxidation on top and reduction on the bottom from the equations off the redox table, and we're dealing with molten sodium chloride, which tells you there is no water involved. Very important note when you're dealing with electrolysis. Now that means we don't need to worry about the first one because that's oxygen and hydrogen. They're from working with water. We don't need to worry about the chlorine and hydrogen, and we don't need to worry about the last one because it's again involving water. That means we're looking at either sodium or chlorine forming at each of the electrodes. Off the table, we know that we can take chlorine plus 2 electrons, making 2 chloride ions, and we can take sodium plus 1 electron, making sodium, and then we look at what we actually start with. In the case of a molten salt, we're starting with our chloride ions and our sodium ions, which does give us the correct format of oxidation over reduction that we need for electrolysis. In this case, the chlorine is oxidizing and that the sodium is reducing, and reduction occurs at the cathode. So what we're going to expect to see at the cathode is sodium being formed. What we're going to expect to see at the anode is chlorine gas being formed. That will mean that the correct answer is D.